the monthly calendar of August, year 2019. Adekye Nsroma no pio ship house Abeka Junction. You from Kwame Edi say baba so na fe nsem kotwi kobrema no. Yesi hu nkonya di hu nkomo. Na ko yefia da ye bedi na fe ye di apomode hu so nkomo. Na fe mpu no PDS nsensem ba ye betu nsafre owura ye kan no Deputy Minister of Energy. John Jinapo no be chiche mu kakra chen say send isiko omu kasa ye kan yu na mo nti mu kan sen na ade no say suspension ana ye twam kura e bi di hu komo de na bom mu e was PDS ne aban contract no nyina bi di hu komo ene anope wo mpuni budu ade so minu nua ba afia ne wo ha anope ya be so afia mu akwaba
ye nua kwa me
na boko de
nyame adum
ata de nso efe
ye keka
na kofo keka ho
ai mo keka
chin su da so
nyasam kutu
nyame aya de nyame
chacha.com
anu so free
Ose,
my
man fans keke.
I was only a show media see me can't shine or pay and say me can't say I was so far to trim now the year Juma and it say and now the punch we know what the Yamia say. We done and say no a year August was me the netosum you know so no one say Yanko Punch or some of the punch with ya and so you were from there. Also Buabu said this also me Shinami and no crest over Shinami. Nemu Busas I dream and I didn't share Nebi and say said the we be ye and now in ye. So person dream when I see Jina say enye ya obenya nneema pira ye nyina so say na say weda ne nye efie ka say economy no kura nche dan koye bottom economy mpatwenye man economy
bottom die no
ai disappointment adoso oton ade ayento weda no kura ye bibia ho bosumi kura we free kita won san nche no afi na nneema etrete wo de sa na kokwa tasa na afia so aka bosumi mu 9 na afi 2019 eko enye etule to bekoso ana opimo koso emu abam emu ye modiana afi ene wupi abontin ka che won se nye wo be ye bia no or say it's very easy to doubt somebody what you say ade na me ye na say my dream is so enkoye and dey work kan bia betima ye sa na mu so the adwenso so trim say ade na wo ye na be koye be ko be positive bin dey wo ye no ho na fa ho nyina hyem na gidi say nyame obo so nya sa say ne dey ne so be say odi ye nti gidi ho na fa ho nyina hyem na dey wo ye bia no be positive and make the best out of every situation found in your wo ye bia keto kasio kakrakao obolobo sani e kanon ni nyina ayewo out die so beboa na ne matumi akoyi amounting crime issue ne say emfa woni ntu se bi de enu e course so ana say bi last month want to me anya dabi and e twamko na mu abosom fura yewura mu yi ho na fa ho hyem na fa akoma pa na bua na adwuma no enko so na Ghana so enya so emfa so nte ya hyew nkran no pa dia be fa so na fe ya hyase bie de obon krata no nya hwede afia nkofo ka ene nkomo ni nyina ko wi PDS Ghana Energy Commission forced the crata by say electricity company of Ghana enkohwe chiri kopim say 30-day mandatory period na the mark of some be hwehwemu no bitima hwehwemu ne di yi atoye sese de asema fa Ghana fo nyina ase na mu Ghana ban so ahya yebo say enya dia PDS nsense ba yegi hwehwemu si nkonya hwehwemu yi madum so bia ba de bi kan na be gina so which is another good news and the hwehwe ni mu say ebeba so ana say bi do no but no nche say bia say normal usual can say you do na you want dey ma so ebeba so na mu say nka say bia PDS nsensem ti no aban so asoso ni PDS ko no omudo mo kan yakọ da kan ya no ya dia no mo hwe so ama keke nti no kura ewu mu no yemfa daily graphic in share na fe yenko enim or say government chases $190 million compact funds in spite of agreement suspension minority demands concession termination PDS in some Korea. Government must tread cautiously in PDS issue. Power producers for need to abide for no page 16. Now, for Ghana, Burkina Faso, open talks to formalize trade relations and also our daily graphic page 33. Young front page story now for young share the Etiemu. Also, the government is still taking steps to secure the second tranche of $190 million compact funds from the American government, in spite of the suspension of concessionary agreement with power distribution services for allegedly breach of contract. Offering the contract to the company, the government of Ghana feels that it's not been treated very well. And now the electricity company of Ghana to a private sector company to manage on concession was a condition precedent for the full implementation of Ghana's power compact with the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, of the United States of America. Consequently, the government had constituted a team to engage the MCC to secure the future of the compact. The Minister of Information, Mr. Kojo Oponkroma, told journalists at a press briefing in Accra yesterday. He said this engagement is about the possible next steps after the inquiry and channels for sharing information as part of this inquiry. According to him, the team would visit the U.S. possibly next week as part of its engagement.
I was here for daily graphic. The Bokrata Nefa also me and San. I was say a free crata and in front page. A whole any a demo aircraft. Na nina F PDS a phone some ya home. Once no num any Ghana mine a war a year and Kania home a pam. I just a nabibia eko ye kama. Na no a drada a bindable two just a pam contract agreements na a war one any PDS a phone some no idea said ye watching us and saying our muye Muno and if what we are saying, I 30 days, and I just say bedroom. Nasa PDS for contract no sense me Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC for more America Memuno, one and never so demuting in mind. And as I said, you are buying a day at just we say PDS for no, ya show massing some contract in a trust in Sanka Cradi and Nelson. I dare buy airborne home didn't shape Piego across so I'm a $190 million compact funds no. What to me AJ Eddie free a year America a buying now what just say they want a year shimua nyame e yad my brother e bay and a 1 year this shimuna show musano wonum ebe to be kwa America memle bi so kwa kata memu na fuma kwa yo mushimuno na no e no dey atu e just say shimuno e kwa we ya na wo mbe hu sa contract ne yeto so anampo ye twemu afebo.
PDS story on page 16 on the Daily Graphic. On say government must tread cautiously in PDS issue. Power producers warned. The Chamber of Independent Power Producers, Distribution Companies and Bulk Consumers has called on the government to tread cautiously before taking a decision to terminate the power agreement with Power Distribution Services PDS Limited or review take-or-pay power purchase agreements to avoid litigation that could prove costly to the nation. The government suspended the concession agreement with PDS last Monday for what it described as fundamental and material breaches of PDS obligation in the provision of payment securities for the transaction, which had been discovered upon further due diligence. However, the chamber said the signing of the concession agreement meant that both parties were satisfied with the processes, and so any attempt to abrogate the agreement by the government ought to be done in a manner that would not cause the state to suffer losses.
Yo, I was for PDS for some year near that's room. Catafa toss you Dunsia 16 Daily Graphic, the Bokrata and Odiaba. Chamber of Independent Power Producers, Distribution Companies, and after bulk consumers. One and a say, one at the ato a manim say, dear mother, or more dear Sashaya, would not so, not what they extra a year PDS for contracts no emuno, or bet soon I ye when we ye pass the payer, and conformance to chain what Timinu coming. Bia emfama ye o my Ghana and after the PDS for no entemo na what just say na no edwade ya and abande betu just say ba a year fundamental and material breaches be akwaso contract mu na just a contract be bi teach ma wo mu nima bi an shada anwie peye and omudo omo ensa chance ni nyina account bi ntino mo ba Ghana bande to just say omo to aso any PDS for a year juma anhwa na nkoboa nam so ama omo atwe wo dwumadi asensen no and a Chamber of Independent Power Producers, woman distribution companies na bulk consumers for their to just say abanya hwe esanse both parties ni na no ye PDS ni abano ansana woman do mo special contract national woman kinkan contract ni mu nsem nyina yie egitu mu mo bi atiase e no mu nyina ye adwe no mo do mo nsa hyase na nese bia ba kwotena se no wo de to just say niema bi anwie pay be bi teach ma wo mu no person wo contract no esensen a was a sebi wo ye no kwan paso pa wo ye no kwan paso anya sa de a emfa asumdwe emra o Ghana any PDS for entem na ebetumi nso de animguase mu do e de abra o mayam o mempo ahwe ne ma bibre asikasem mu krampo eka ho ne sense say aban person wo twasa contract mu de a wonfa ahweye enenye
creator for tosu ye eduonu 924 page 24 Daily Graphic on say Africa's development cannot be achieved through aid, says President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. President has stated that there is ample evidence to show that the economic transformation and rapid development that Africa yearns for cannot be achieved through aid. He said to achieve accelerated development, African nations must effectively harness their resources and deploy them creatively and efficiently for rapid economic and social transformation. That, he said, was necessary because even if there was no aid fatigue, there was never going to be enough aid to develop Ghana, let alone Africa, to the desired level, and then the situation that we want everybody to look up to Africa as one of the developing continents of this world. Yeah.
Yo, I was for Casafe Tosu Eduno and nine ewo telegraph double cat and munia demo aircraw. Nano and at the Dankwa Ekufo at Dogana Mampeni Akasa dia to just say. Yes, Sikasemu and Hoto any impunto baby my penanya de bit to Sabi as a say any moa ayedani dano ye pair one performance or a yabra performance or the bit imagine and so at the appresa Sikasemu and Hoto and afe impuntuno. What is a baby my penny and break na ye pimpunto ye didn't assess upon Sikasemu and Hoto. Dia ene ye yema ye ninka ye krom ene ma hodo adoma kuma ede adom ye yema ye ninso na afu ye mobo ye chama no ye mobo esika na afu ye mfa mo ye ankase ho na ye sika sam ene ye ye die ne santumi ka ntem na wom ni akase ye kire nsa gu embo na da ne da no lala sulala asresere na afu mo ya pede ye fin kofa ma so dia ene o se botaye de yakoma so se ye betumi abo ma abibiman etumi tu mpon ne ade ye ho nya ade asa botaye no ye betumi edru hu da ne sense no de waka nyina ne se wo se etumi eboabo ye ho ene ma hodo odoma kuma de adom ye no yankasa yentumi emfa ehun adwen yie na afa yemfa entu ye ho mpon na se ekosresre na da ne de eni tu obi so obebo ye de a ene da ne da no sa sresre ne betumi ayafe bo wa bra yankasa yempe yie die ene yesika semu ahoto
afia ya sempa na etumi di susanka bebo pa na ka Ghana beyond edin de na ba bedim se Ghana economy and the question is betumi aya na wo ye wadwen so be de betumi aya
corruption so tia betumi aya
corruption ndi ande kataji se ho
ani suma se dwumadi se ka nya wodi ana wodi
se bo so na wodi da chi butua
Debbie sa no ye mo ma Ghana manyi
and then you corrupt actor
o say
and then you corrupt
corrupt wodi na da chi betua say Let's get in back with deep in a dachi.
Story B page 16 and Odi Unkwasam. Also amend airline that bans motorcycles from operating as taxis. Now, what kind of story now? Also, former commander of the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service, has urged Parliament to amend the legislative instrument that bans the use of motorcycles as taxis, popularly known as okada. According to him, Section 128, Clause 1, 2, and 3 of Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180 prohibits the use of a motorcycle or tricycle or what has been popularly known as okada for commercial purposes. In 2012, the use of motorcycles and motorbikes for commercial transport in the country was outlawed under Regulation 128, Clause 1 and 4 of Road Traffic Regulations 2012, which states that the licensing authority shall not register a motorcycle to carry a fare-paying passenger. But Assistant Commissioner of Police, ACP Victor Tando, retired, and said the amendment of the airline would allow the police and other authorities not only to regulate the activities of such motorbikes, but also identify and educate okada riders on road signs, safety regulations, as well as the proper use of motorbikes.
Yo, Katafen Tosu Edu Ensia and Edomo Aircraw, Kane Penny and our commander Emma Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, our Ghana Police Service, were no and Ekase no diato a year Mrashebeja and Nimse, any dema the legislative instrument LI no, Arches and no Emma Quine Emma motorcycle, a year okada fui, one ends me, Emfa, Wamo, Emotono, Emfa passenger phone, Jessica, commercial business no, Momo Niasen. Ja o betuma say wo mu se de be ya betumi amma mo kwan sa amran betuma amma okada fo kwan amma mo aye adwuma afa passengers na wa chese se wo hwa Ghana mra enampo eye MTTD emra regulate section 128 yet road traffic regulation no 2012 ni mu a wo se emma okada fo no ekwan emma wonom emfa wo mu emotonu enye adwuma Enjisika enwo motomu na 2012 afinimu no motorbikes na afi a ede ye adwuma commercial no wo chese eyade a ye twemu se enye mra nanso panyin de oka nyina ne se sa mra no se etumi yesese kakra ewo mu na afi etumi ebeye mra na okadafo no etumi nya kwan ayo madwuma efa passenger fo a wo se no no ebeboa kwan bebre so na de nti ebeboa ne se wo se edi nkan no eba eye road signs ahyenso de a chese ewo akwan bebre eso a okadafo yi wo mu enim se bia ya trose ba bi won ma wuduro ni kwan so opake kra wonim bebre hono ma se bi omu ni hunim de na se ye nsesan wo mra ni mu a babo kwan ato no ama MTTD fo won atumi de nkyerɛkyerɛ ni adesua fa road signs ho ama okadafo ni nyina na afọ mo ankasa bambo ho sam so yatumi de nkyerɛkyerɛ ama mo ubehu obi wono ankasa woti moto no so anim etwi ne won hye helmet ne passenger no so enhye helmet we nyina no ka wo siminim e di say ye amendment anampo nse kakra wo emra ni mu a ebebo kwan ato wono ama sanchechire we nyina no yetumi e di ama wono ama okadafo accident bebere ba ekoso e wo men emu no ni na no mafasa akwan no so e di esi ano ekwan.
Okay, I think when you good news Emma Ghana for nyina on page 44 Daily Graphic on say Monday August 5 is public holiday. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo has declared Monday, August 5, 2019, a public holiday to be observed across the country. This is because this year's August 4 Founders Day statutory holiday falls on Sunday. Hence, the president, by an executive instrument, has declared Monday a holiday. A press release signed and issued by the Minister of the Interior, Mr. Ambrose Derry, therefore reminded the general public to take note of the upcoming holiday. The Public Holidays Amendment Act 2019 Act 986 was passed by Parliament in April this year to amend the Public Holidays Act 2001. The new act quashed 3 public holidays and introduced 2 new ones. The passage by Parliament followed a proposal by President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo that 4th August should be observed as Founders Day in memory of the successive generations of Ghanaians who contributed to the liberation of the country from colonial rule, while September 21st is set aside as a memorial day for Osadefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president, who was instrumental in the fight for the 6th March Ghana's independence.
Yo, I was for Daily Graphic, the Democrats and if I toss so at 9:44 any of them aircraft. Now, where you come, Chester, you need some at the Magana phone. Nina, na at the Dankwa, a Kufu Addo, Ghana man penny at the Atu, a just say, Yame Aya Duma, a Juada, a August, that tosso, a Numuno, a Fiamono, a Dia, a for feeder, a Mansa for feeder, public holiday, a Ghana Hasse, I was so be a to me ediso, or Chester, a yes, I don't know, and Ampo August 4th, no, a Founders Day. No, ekosi kwasiada nso de ya for vida da ni sense no wonom atwen e da be sha adwada e August there toso enum no sa da ne mum e na eye afofida public holiday wo so bia etum ediso we eye nsema oso afo hwa amanyo nsem so orura Ambrose Derry wo de atodwade ne sa sha ase ato bi amane samtwofo ama Daily Graphic samtwofo nso sa ka on de ayen so ye kenkan bi e de amamu na Public Holiday Amendment Act no 2019 no at 986 Wachese parliament ejitumu afiemu epobusumi no emu achese no wo mu ejitumu kama ye pa na wachira public holidays makoma miensa omu ebeyi firi honom eno de afoforo mienu 2 new ones ebeka ho achese no sa August 4th ye Founders Day no eno no eye da ponda ye tuosi honom na Ghana dikanfo a odi omu jabeto wo ye bi ma oman yetumi ede akai honom ahye wo ho fan no nti ena sa da no eye afofida no they say de holiday no ye de akoshe adwada ebei August Day to so enu we friend
power to the people say abana sesa holidays class sesa na kaneno nanka samra we maye no na di holidays we busy 1st July nanka ye no Ghana Republic Day or Ghana has nanka holiday and 25th maybe nanka African Union Day and a year back when so Kwame Nkrumah birthday September 21st and also nanka Nkrumah's birthday and na man be the present ni ade no na sisi ni nyina dia akoshe 4th August and replace Kwame Nkrumah Day no into Founders Day Kofobia so mbua na bru mo jani eje Ghana si ho ma na nso bi ni bia ye ka ho asem ho na ye ka nti so aye ko ka na tie nti Monday holiday na mo ni adwuma nyina na holiday adwuma se ni holiday nti Monday nyame bo beba adwuma ye ba ho say YouTube very adwuma
so TV dey no
o say
ebe movies ya jima phone
na me can say ebe adwuma
adwuma de ebe
holiday yeah Ghana for holiday okay yanko can chance na yemfa de this is on to aso o say Ghana Africa matter in the US foreign policy according to US speaker Madam Pelosi and I say guide against wasteful spending president tells African government and IPPS ready to renegotiate take or pay power deals and also say IGP leads delegation to Tamale to commiserate with the corpse family. And post him amenoa mean for Bikobo no chuno. And no wasem and waha. Yemushi na yanko page 17 nafi yanko chechim ne president so the 2 year every man penny for again. Also President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo has challenged African countries to guide against wasteful spending as the continent strives to mobilize revenue to drive its socio-economic transformation and achieve the African Beyond Aid dream. He told African finance ministers and central bank governors in Accra yesterday that transparent budget and expenditure management systems that allocated resources wisely to agreed national priorities and monitored their implementation should be of most importance. He was speaking at the opening of the first leg of the 2019 African Caucus meeting of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund (IMF) governors underway in Accra. According to the President, he urged the continent to harness effectively its own resources to create the prosperity it desired. According to the African Development Bank, he said the annual infrastructure financing gap alone was about $100 billion. Infrastructure deficiency is also estimated to hold us back by 2 percentage points in GDP growth per capita this year, the President said.
Yo, ebusia for Ghanaian Times the broadcast and if tosu edu enso and ye demo aircraft no and ye bibiman emu amrado aha ye African governance one any World Bank one any International Monetary Fund for womunhye mu afidie no 2019 die no ade akoso ewo enkran hase ne no ena nana adedankwa akufo do Ghana mampanyi ko obi no kasa ye nenimu no ena ode ato abibiman anim se eni die mu ada ekwan ye faso esai sika di sika ye niema no ewo se etumi ayahweye wo mu ye paam ye ni da ho wo mu se le beya kakra ewo ne betumi aboaboa no na afi ye di aye abibiman eyiye ede akekere abibiman ede aprisika mpunsuo na afesu yedie na eye Ghana anampo Africa Beyond Aid botaye no yetumi aduru ho ntempa wo se Africa finance minister na chese mpanyufo ehwe sikasam tutu eso wa bibiman mu no na afi central bank amenadrofo no aha wo mu enhyem diase no de sansemi tudwa na no CNP ede to omanim se ni die madam eba ekwan amofa so eye omo budget na afi so kwan amofa so ede sa budget musika eye adwuma eye ntutu e wo mamu a ene die madam ya omuma emu na ho esanse budget bi wo honma ye mu se kusuwu hu hwe na sika no kwa ya bobodi no sa abano ewilizi se sika se franko ye mputu djuma na eno nso mu kusuwu hu hwe ye de sika no kwa ye adwuma no so a hu mpo bi adwuma na ho na anu bi ni ya twetwe gubuku na eno ye de nam wo se ni nyina no ensem 40 cents no empanyufo eye Africa Finance Minister and Central Bank Governors no wo mu djumadie eye mo budget mo djumadie ahodo nyina no o so otuma emuda ho fan se le be ya ebetumi aboa amayedi aye pe no yensa etumi aka ne ntem kura na numu no chese no so betumi aboa ama ye hyehyere nyina no etumi akoso ama mo kata nso a bibifo etumi age wonum atom prekope.
Okay, if you enko kata fa toso yensa stories minu na wa ha Cocoa Board financial loss case application to stay proceedings dismissed and wa ha and IGP leads delegation to Tamale to commiserate with Cobb's family. Mamemfa Cocoa Board in charge and sana kwa IGP dia no so. On see an Accra High Court hearing the trial involving Dr. Stephen Opuni, former Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board, and Seydou Agongo, one of the and then other person who is at large on Wednesday, dismissed the motion to stay proceedings pending an interlocutory appeal at the Court of Appeal. The court presided by Justice Clemens Hunyowo, an appeal court judge sitting as an additional high court judge, said, upon a perusal of the documents filed, it is the view of the court that the grant of the application will further delay the trial. He said that granting of application to stay proceedings was discretionary and that a notice of appeal was enough grounds to stay proceedings. Justice Honoya Naga indicated that before the case was not only about the form of fertilizer being put to use, but a number of charges were also leveled against the accused. The motion was filed by Mr. Samuel Kujo, a lawyer for Dr. Opuni, the first accused, after the court has rejected the tendering of a document through the prosecution witness. The lawyer in moving the motion said his client has filed a motion for stay and wished to rely on all the paragraphs therein. Okay. And Timifa IGP and Twasu and Abichimansa. Okay.
Yo abusuan for Ghanaian Times the broadcast and if tosumi ensan ene demo aircraft na Dr. Opuni Stephen Opuni wona kan no da Cocoa Board adwuma ko na no ene so board do no na de abɔ no sikasam so bo fertilizer ho so board de bi pempem no pa enyo no nko a Seydou Agongo so ono so eka ho asese de sasemi akodi Accra High Court for ensem a wonom na ADA na no ana Dr. Stephen Opuni kan Chief Executive Officer Magana Cocoa Board board woni say do agongwe wonom de eye application for e na no ukuada no ama say de eye Accra High Court for wonom abos application agu na de ntia wo boss application gu ye nyina ne say so wo agitum di akwan bia so no yade a wo asene na betwentwe na se ebe delay wo etro ano no nti e na say de wonom abos application nyina agu na ne nyina ne say fertilizer ho so boni sikasem ho so bobi e de po wo no e na dane da no e ma wo ye twe wo ekogina Accra High Court edi wonom asema say the application no court abo ede agu.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, IGP James Opon Buodun, yesterday led a high-powered delegation to Tamale in the northern region to commiserate with the family of the late police Corporal Agatha Nana Nabia. Corporal Nabia, believed to be in her 30s, was shot and killed by suspected armed robbers at a police snap checkpoint at Mashegu in Sanarigu municipality, the northern regional capital, at about 8:30 p.m. on July 30th, 2019. On the acting IGP's entourage were the Director General, Criminal Investigations Department, CID, Commissioner of Police, Mami Yatiwa Adodankwa, Director General, Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, COP Christian Tezenyonu, and the Director General Operations, COP George Alex Mensah. They were joined on arrival by the Northern Regional Police Commander and other high-powered police delegations from the Northern Region.
Yo ebusian for Ghanaian Times abokrata no ane dasu ewomu na eno na ababeto dwase opanya wo hwe chese process ahene Acting Inspector General of Police IGP Owura James Opon Buonu wono na ekase no chese enra eyade a wodi aprosi aginatuku ododo no anim edo mo Tamale eye etifi mantem na eye post ni ba bi asebioson emimfo bi esusu ye paso me anrobese wonom abonituo ekum no ewo police snap checkpoint ewo Mashigu eye Sagnirigu kropomu ewo tifi mantemu no July dan etoso aduasa no koma abusuanfo nyina yakọ na eye police ni bay eye police corporal Agatha Nana Nabia we are rekosempe nam so ama eye process sahene a wo hwe akire wodi aprosifo nkaye anim akoma abusuanfo yakọ na wo chese mpanyufo aka acting IGP hu no wo ekoye no Director General, Criminal Investigation Department, Commissioner of Police, COP Mami Yatiwa Adodankwa, and after Director General, Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, COP Christian Teteyohunu, and Director General Operations, COP George Alex Mensah, Womune kan acting IGP who and Womu Eko Tamale Koma Busuan for Yako. Now, Chesa Bro Mudru, a Yatamale Honsono, a Tiffy Mantam, Prosi Penny, DCOP. Timothy Yosa Bonga ono so ehia wonom enam so munyina kambo mu ekoma eye ababa wana poprosi ni ba corpora no wo mu koma abusuanfo iyakọ.
Very sad nyamemfa ne kra ensie afia yenko daily guide na nhwe front page story bi wo on say has to roll as MPP NDC fight over PDS scandal. President Kasoka in issue about say aid cannot develop Africa, says President Nana Danko Kufuor. And Kufuor in tears at Buzia's book launch, and also in bidding home como and pay. Yemfa has never no and shall say. Also, the suspension of the power distribution services PDS power concession agreement by the government has started a big fight between the ruling NPP and the opposition NDC. So the young one. Over who should be held responsible. Minister of Information Kojo Nkrumah yesterday held a news conference in Accra in the presence of Energy Minister John Peter Amewu to set the record straight on the matters arising. He said the government would complete full-scale inquiry into what he called detected breaches by PDS within a month. He said a team conducting the inquiry comprises of insurance experts, officials of the Energy and Finance Ministries, officials of the Electricity Company of Ghana, and the Millennium Challenge Authority, MIDA. The inquiry will determine the nature of the breaches and advise on suggested next steps. He said by Tuesday, the team is expected in Doha, that is Qatar, as part of the inquiry. All interested parties are cooperating so far with the inquiry at this stage, he announced. I
was saying for delegate the Bokrata no different also me and sign any demo aircraft. Neno eno diaba PDS nsem ya ho na o chese PDS wo mu contract ya na no dwada ban betu dwase watwen asensen no se dia dane nto kwakase pa boboba wo MPP ni NDC fo ntamu esanse obi a empese wo no ene ede sobo no ebebo no na hwan ene wo se ede sobo no ebo no wei eye ensem anampo ntokwa ahyase ekoso wo MPP ene NDC fo ntamu na amane bosoafo onunyamfo kwajo pon krumenra wo friends am trofo nhyiamu ana okasa no energy minister soafo shoja hodin sam so eye owura John Peter Mewu na wote wo bie ne ensam do mkeka ne pempempempem pa wo kire se no eyade a aban no PDS wono ensensam no anampo wo contract no niema bi anhyeda ankoye wo mu befa ba bi etechima na mo kire se mo de abosomi eyemu ehwehwemu nyame ya adom na ebosomi no ekọ awieye na mo hwehwemu no awie a eno mbehu eye mfomso na tem breaches no won behu ne pote na fom de ababeto edwa na wo kyese mpanyifo a wonom eye sa ehwehwemu no nyame eye adom abnada bai wo tu onto afri Ghana de woni akere kata na afi wonom akoto won hwehwemu no so US crampo ade a wonom ebekokonom ene wo kyese mpanyifo dodo no a eka ho bi ene energy asoye no emu mpanyifo eka ho wo de no eto nchen a wo kyese Electricity Company of Ghana mpanyifo ka wona Millennium Development Authority for mpanyifo so eka woni a eye sa ehwehwemu no eho
nti omonkoro monkoyemra na within 30 days ye twen wom na yenhwede what went wrong Petri Kroya story bin so was Mahama Ayaraga's trial on hold. The trial of opposition NDC member of parliament for Boku Central Mahama Ayaraga has been put on hold by Accra High Court. The decision by the court presided over by Justice Efia Senwa Asaribuche is to wait on the outcome of a suit at the Supreme Court challenging the capacity of Martin Adekye Amidu as the special prosecutor. According to the judge, the matter was before the highest court of the land and she would not be drawn into commenting on it when the court had not yet given its decision. She said this constituted an exceptional circumstance for which she would stay her proceedings until the matter is decided on. Mr. Ayaraga and 6 other current and former officials of the Boku Municipal Assembly were hauled before an Accra High Court by the special prosecutor for offences relating to the purchase of an ambulance.
Yo, I was for a year delegate the Bokata no one that's a woman and a friend tosu miensa and ye demo crow. Na se omanfo ebeka ya afrase mu honom no ena eye Owura Martin Amidu awono ena wo special prosecutor ewo memu no wode esobo ebo eye Owura Ayarega woni empanyufo ensia bi ewo eye ambulance bi na wonom ekoto ehun enam so wonom ede eye Ayarega ne empanyufo ensia eko Accra High Court na no ena se die ababeto dwase asenie no ayade a Accra High Court wonum egira hono mansa womu ahodi no kakra womu ahodi ni kakra na o kire se eye Justice Efia se wasare botwe wono enetena adwamu esa presiding judge na o kire eye Owura Martin Amidu obi nso akwakoye case etia no wo Supreme Court na Supreme Court emfa womu atamuo emaye enunti ena se ode atodwasa ne de nya ndo be comment wo ho na se Supreme Court emfa mo atamuo emaye de a ene kwan bia so ne wo se wo mo so ede no yetumi ehodi ni kakra esanse Supreme Court no eyade eso esen eye Accra High Court na kopim se Supreme Court ede wo mo atamuo no ebeba no eyade a womu so die no womu entumi entwasa se die eye Ayarega womu ahodi ne trial no ewo Accra High Court ni nyina egina eye case obi nso akwakoye ede etia Martin Adekye Amidu no so
so Ayarega kruya na case na Martin Adekye Amidu on just in position as SP no on sem fata so on retirement age no 60 years no obo nti so court this court decide Supreme Court decide on sama asam wia
sana ya to aso
asam ya koso emran de pa story bi open 6 te papa Kufuor nka ache o ha Kufuor in tears and Buzia book launch. Former President John Kufuor last Wednesday held back emotional tears as he delivered a speech during the book launch of the late Prime Minister, Professor Kwesi Buzia, the man who appointed him as the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs when he was at the age of 27. The book launch of the country's Prime Minister from 1969 to January 1972 expectedly attract the cream of the new MPPs, the flag bearer of the UPP and also later Progress Party, the latter being the party which shot Professor Buzia to power in 1969. Former President Kufuor recounted the circumstances under which Professor Buzia's government, which lasted 2 years, 3 months, was overthrown in the 1972 coup d'etat. During his 15-month incarceration at the Usher's Fort prison, he said he wondered why the government of such a knowledgeable personality would be overthrown. Recalling the sterling qualities of the late Professor Buzia, he said he was ingrained with traditional values and believed in each person being their neighbor's keeper. Besides, he believed in principles of democracy and social interventions. President Kufuor, who was full of nostalgia, said, literally, he chose and nurtured me to become what I have become. From hindsight, I feel compelled to say that the man must have been a prophet, unquote.
Yo, I was here for Krata Yani Dasu, a woman, a delegate, and a friend Tosso, a Sia, and a demo aircraw. Na Kanema Penny or John Dramani. Ora John Adekye Nsroma, former President John Adekye Nsroma, which I said nano ukuadano, a yadia what's in super abrana a year Kane Prime Minister Professor Kwesi Abrefa Buzia, watchro and we be a dear fan who anachas one epa a wo entuma, na bra wakasa. Na waje eye microphone na se o kasa na yade a nusu ankasa ankasa egu no a che se ono kwa nko antwaso a na nka nye asem geso anka bena na nka obebo a ni nyina no yade ekopie ye ewo abra na sa book lunch no koso na wo kire se ye Professor Kwesi Abrefa Buzia na memo epenso no sabe ono kwa no onya 27 years mfie aduonu enso ye kane mampanyi Kufuor no onya 27 enso opanyi nya agide na resemu wo ni mu mekowi ase wo yini Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs ma no ebo adwuma fine na wo chese ye 1969 ekopim 1972 ena chese MPP chese opanyi won obedi ade ewo omemu no chese bese mfie mienu ene abosume kakra abosume miensa 1972 mu honum no ena ye aban entungo ku dita bi ekose nam so yetu na aban egu ye na na kanema mpanyiro adwon na Adekye Nsroma de atodwa se na eye ne wanwa ye pa esesa bi oso panyi ani so adekunu ewo ne timu sei na afi woji obi adi se bi a wo ma obi atumi a nipa no betumi aye adwuma no yetumi etu na aban egu sa ene o se eba democracy ka mem ka bia o panyi no de ye adwuma eba social interventions a ne nyina de ye adwuma wo de no to nchen a eba se bi traditional values so na oni ho agro ne nyina odi adwuma ne senti wo panyi asabi oson ani so adekunu wo ni tirimu na afi obetumi adega na man ese ne akon won ti ase kwan a fa so ma asabi oson 1972 yetumi etu na ban egu sa ene manpanyi Kufuor kasa pa wo so no no enne sere wo no wasi ababeye wo panyi ya na tete no enne cha na kama ma enne wo no watumi ababedi wo man su so epen wo so no de obetumi akase eye Professor Kwesi Abrefa Buzia wodifuo prekope eno no
He was a professor.
Obey wodifuo.
Ghana history do. Ghana history and the
Ghana history.
The history but in time who did the young come and conform. So now one because you want to people could have a kind of onion in the forget it. But Ghana history come. 1972, 69, about 79, 81. Very interesting.
They are there 2 years, 3 months.
If you are the publisher, the new publisher, and story is a woman. Transport fares to go up. I know a new publisher move story on that front page. And ahead of election 2020, Mahama can't get VIP. As and Danny Alex Mood snap him. Snap no a shatter. They say because the shatter as well as inverted comma. The actual story on share the Nina Subia Sam, but young kind of crap. Also, it appears attempts by former President John Dramani Mahama to select a running mate for election 2020 will linger a while. Which was on page 6. Also, this is because details have emerged over how big rigs of the opposition NDC Mr. Mahama has approached for the offer have kept very miles of distance from the idea of running mates, apparently treating the request like a comment from an outcast. The new publisher sources insist that so far Alex Kofi Mensah, a former chief executive officer of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, who was approached by Mr. Mahama to pay him for the elections, turned down the offer. It said the situation was not different when the former president knocked on the door of the chief executive of Stanbic Bank Ghana, Alhassan Andani. According to the source, Mr. Andani, an astute banker, also rejected the request of a running mate for Mr. Mahama, making the search for a vice presidential candidate for the Umbrella Party a Herculean task. Interestingly, Dr. Johnson P. Esiama, a former deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, has been widely rumored to be the last bet for Mr. John Dramani Mahama. If
you're the unkind mom. I was one for the new publisher.
The publisher, I am you. Ghanaian publisher.
And you
the new publisher. The new one, some Nayakan.
Are you? Kratafe tosu ensia ene demo aircrow nenso o hyase every a front page krata no animo ne no eno de aba wo chese ansha owura John Dramani Mahama kanema mpanyin won say no search na dis anemu e de akwapre 2020 eye mampanyin adwane biemu na ne running mate nipa obe ne vice president no onyanyi no na kasa HS anhwe be cheye pa ni nyina ne sa so obi obebo apian bi aso meye vice president man bi na sa wotwetwe ne ho ye mfini papa na new publisher yi kire se Cecia de Alex Kofi Mensa mode on na former chief executive officer Ghana National Petroleum Corporation GNPC ye kanema mpanyuru John Dramani Mahama okọ ni nchense papa be running mate mam nenso amfa papa na agi antum ache se no mpanyifo dodo no a na wa approach wo ma ni nyina na obi atwetwe ne ho o se chief executive Stanbic Bank ye Ghana Alhassan Dani kura no so se ebo piano na ye daily new publisher new publisher mo che se Orura Dani ono so reject yi kanema mpanyi Orura Mahama request ni sa running mate de wonye ache se wuhwemu a panyin bia na kanema mpanyi Mahama bebo apia no ese bebo am nenye running mate no obi atwetwe ne ho mu nyina mpese ombe ya enam so ama the new publisher ede ho nsem abakata fa etoso ensia
sa story tell anyway I have my doubts kakra because names be by Dean be by first Ewura Kusia, former minister for the interior and Ghana's first ambassador to the Comoros Kaseo on the demano the man so one year so 1 year then former chief of staff Julius Debrans with Dimba Mountain Bakuka Domuka former president Rollins by the Bageli Zenator Rollins Rasha Bedreni also no so consider no story is so but Papa Mahama say when you be an ubi and your family me I will do it so
now we call the asempa na dey na mo twetwe
and now just me doubt to the authenticity of the story because once we MPP flew apart from MPP wa bem party so pa betimi we call ba bem ANDC nche ye den na say problem na running meter
yenya ana nkofo twetwe mo ebia
well Alex Mood na twetwe no but ebia nkofo we ready President Mahama say onye obi abefame me ANDC ni ba to the family yanko so on ento so aba appointment to mbara me have so running mate na
ebi so na wo mpe obi a wagidin o party ni mu kese
no opeden
o say ayala sandani ni Alex Modi
the banking sector Alex sandani you need kitwa obi a ni wo soro pa
ba say nye party ni mu
unim
say nkofo party but aso mu underground kakra
no ye candidate now open running mate no you nyina na ya ba omi bi wo no deputy governor of Bank of Ghana but na di in Shedan range bell bia you can more or less technocrat than some politician but it be by and they say adwuma okoso ha I mean there's always a try say bit ma hwe na
so say bia wo ma party for no bi nso akonya bia na omo they are willing to do it but akwa say omo a technocrat for yi na bia omo twetwe omo
sa position no depend party na ideology other so be technocrat and I be a politician because for the very first time you're a very vibrant vice president. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Unse kanena vice president, everything unka president to kwa any day. Uni go na be feeling with you but we are very active.
Okay, can no yes.
Ebe man who says our position will not be a dormant position, which I say. Very position I was say oba very vibrant.
Yes.
President to know what team you are there and to beboa. Nti I know na be depending nipa person the nation's position.
Yes.
Then again, former President Mahama, the one you be a family. And before someone you be.
Uncle Yenso na fast, what you mambo.
I know what drinks are the past one make. You
only be a papa, no, I
drink. And you boni pi.
Sir.
Give papa.
Ebefa.
Ebefa. I'm far better luck next time. Better befa.
Make a come bebe do no.
Oh, say you say and this name before we are one of them. No cry some you know you ba be kasa di ntina me kasa say we no me kan say me. So we are kasa we akoko buan ni honorable we kasa ya we. Omu we on to abasa kuma kodi fufu.
Akɔhwe nkwan.
Na so ti fie na okon. You be anka say political party be no so you mo fa Ghana.
Aban no kokra still omu didim.
O na ni dim so you Ghana ni.
Okay.
Your contacts no network awo na be didi. Aha. Nti me sa susu bi nti no say NDC for mu nyu bi amu na ma fa me. MB before some short term, me baby am all weather universal charger baby am ko. Story be page 6, very interesting one. Ghana Form Party. Transport fares to go up. Leadership of Ghana Private Road Transport Union GPRTU. So na first that TU is so. Tini obi kan jupru 2 of 2. GPRTU of TUC. Will today Friday August 2 meet with stakeholders within the commercial public transport sector to determine the percentage at which transport fares should be increased across the country. The increment had been caused by an announcement by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta that there has been an increment in the energy sector levy effective today. Because no 1st August. According to Ken Ofori-Atta, government proposes to increase the energy sector levies by 20 pesos per litre for petrol and diesel and 8 pesos per kilogram of LPG so as to increase inflows to enable government issue additional bonds to pay down Ghana's energy sector debt obligations. Public transport operators, after the announcement of an increase in the price of petrol and diesel, are contemplating passing on the additional cost to passengers. And this would impliedly increase the cost of food and essential commodities. Don't be surprised. But they know it don't go to see if you are children.
Yo, I was for new publisher, Dobokrata no, and no one yet so a woman different also in Sia, and your demo air crow. And now also for show Mexico some to so reckon for Riata and a budget review got to dry air woman as we feel what it to just say but energy sector levy no idea one atumu. One more apejamu kakra. Ni nyina se Ghana energy sector no. Aha, ya so ye hono no. Ye de ka. Na sabi e betumi nya ka no. Sika atua no. Ene se ye energy levy no, ye betumi apejam kakra. Na no na Ghana Private Road Transport Union GPRTU for womo so dia tu edwa se ene fia da ye organize to so emienu no womo ene mpanyifo ebehia ewo commercial public transport sector no mu se da be ya womo so ebetuma adwendwe niema ho na ahyentiade eye transportation fare no womo so betumi apage emu ekakra esan se energy sector levy no yetumu na se womo so antumi anto ahyentiade ni mu a eyade a won be ya adwuma ne so mu ntumi enyamfa so bia emfirimu na wachese uko eye petrol ni diesel na 20 pesos and ye de atom liter bia and 80 pesos enso and LPG no so ye de atom na chese wuhwemu a so mo ekoto petrol na diesel na won ye use gas nso koto bi de ye adwuma ebo no apeja ne sent omo so ampeja ye ahyentiade ni mu a kwan bia so no wonom ebeboka enam so de atodwa se ene no wonom ebeto ahyentiade mu
ye betum you can 20 pesos per liter, so you say and to more moon shed than you do be about 1 gallon beer 4.3 liters. To multiply 20 pesos by 4. Then say 1 gallon of petrol beer no almost 1 cedi. And above it so. If you am story
much as a name and board be din.
Say you're quite
unse publisher for no so the back could be by. So we a new publisher. Ghanaian publisher.
Ghanaian publisher. Can new day and can you put new opposite new old though? I don't store no saying.
Was the aged MP should retire.
Aged MP.
Patron.
And if MP need age also.
Say be more my uncle Crawford do. I'm saying na o patchere.
One say mommy be US House of Representatives. You must speak another friend Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
She's been in that house for the various capacities as about 32 years. Senko Ghana because of Babrewa.
Mugabe.
Mugabe. And I make us say your parliamentary near Mono Koso Ghana Rashibu Germano. Young football mapping was a Germany. And necessary sank a woman representing particular constituencies. Which has here. Your mom position responsibilities that parliament ho. Then come we adwuma na bo Ghana come because yes, so we aged you or few. Nipa say be come na say me for consultation. The game parliament we need nya sa adwene say ade na because I say why no the older the better. Until say honorable say chairman Sabusudi and 1 year can was one and nya and say me na piece from so you won't debate. Aye. Say office ya because on come in shame when you're not doing something with Jaya won't come
na moja no social media
for the cat bus social media so won't come now I tap parliament for 24 was it 24 years I feel warm me up when you started
I feel no warm me up
when you started
indeed opanyin ba ko say o mo ntina chiri no ma moja mono for no emeye bi
nye moja mono the parliament they are doing the parliament match because on to man match go hu TV so last hu TV so na phone na phone
Who TV
so and on TV so on kasa and on kasa so a dey be na phone na phone no obia on nyina so dey to aba ma obi o
oh yes
because me kasa MP ma yi me ma invitation card say bram program wa ma na no hu me ka okay won glass ya ma phone so open vote any one na ma
anyone na hwibo mu
nti aged MPs should retire runs for example hey papa Africa is said its continent with youthful population with close to 2 billion 2 billion of the people being youth ages between the bracket of 18 and 35 years. He said, yet the kind of people who lead the continent are very old. Make page 2 of Ukraine by the Ghanaian publisher. I say integrity and professionalism. But what do?
Page 2.
And page 2.
There be media PDS probe to take 30 days. And an aged MP should retire. And open and page 2.
And I make
okay.
Aged MP should retire.
Okay.
Well, see, if you go to Europe and the Americas and other developed continents, their population is fairly old and yet they have relatively young people leading them. How old was JF Kennedy when he became US president? How about Bill Clinton and Barack Obama? Emmanuel Macron of France would not have qualified to be president of Ghana, but in France, he was elected president at the age of 39. Is there no correlation between the age at which one is selected to govern or represent his constituent and development? Politicians say, but the word China say, "Kokrofono more parliament." Into what one for age bracket be ama. Say be what you feel say ya. And because we do want to call parliament no sir. Which I say, Honorable Bansumani Babin say, or say chairman, so many are young men. And call parliament. This is what saying. On retire at what age? And I age now what do you say? Untimi ke kan yema mumu na dwimu kan se bia bebo ma parliament djuma na koso na nti owura jampo sa bra biom
ebia no pe kwan akoyi ekose ho baby but ohun se akokora bi twintwa na nemu
so yiro Anti on the age and was saying according to him the average age of Africans population is 19.5 years, yet the average age of their leaders and representatives is 62 years. Must this be not of concern to the owners and proponents of the constituents of this continent? He's asking. You urge young people interested in Ghanaians politics to go into politics, yet the old man doesn't want to give way for them to try their luck. Yeah, me try luck for how? I fear. Because some age I saw work on there.
Also, as if front page one more. Yeah, most of
it was a nice man there, for example, a very nice man. So, I'm the director of Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. Professor Pa, I drink, but a bad thing, a very juma. I feel the chim kakranyanko.
Yo, I was for Ghanaian publisher, the Bokratano, and your day at was na any page 2. Kratane fetos me nunes was say free kratane Director of Center for European Studies at University of Ghana Professor Rans for Jampo na ka say what they are two mrahebedwafo enim say eni de ma de do momo manyini no wo che say o matna parliament ho ache ni say ntin ka be ya enkomo metna fie na onye kom se de be ya maba wone mrantie na omo so afa no masi so mpese womo ebe gina wo constituency ahodo anamu e wo mrahye bedwafie no womo so betuma nya akwanya na womo edi sa adwuma no na wo kyese mpanyimfo nye se bia wo metena wo keka na emum no womo etena nchen a na womo do mu nimde no tai emabu no achi se de be dachi bia no womo eni ho na se mabu no eba se bia oson womo eho enkohare wo manam ko mo nkokire wonom e wo mrahye bedwafie honom na emum so womo betena chire na womo kyekire womo kwame so ye ni sei e wo so de fa ha e fe wo so ye so de share na se dachi bia no womu ni honom a ye di ka kyerɛ womo adwuma ni so dada the sense womo kom mrahye bedwafie a womu nim de womo koye wo honom na womo se mpanyimfo betena wonom abon kokorawa obu akrampa ote ho anu wada o se we kwesi mpesua na mu a wakoda saa but o se wo mblemu obi a old age wonyina wote ho anu wada ni sense no sempanyifo etumi etena nchen na ema brante ne mabawa mojamuni etumi eba ebesua adwuma ne eye bibia eno betumi aboa ye pa mo so etumi akeka wo hu eye ene questions we obi sabi wo sisa wo ko Europe na afenso America wo mo ekọ animu ye pa eba development wo ekọ animu ye wo mo nkrofo so ebi anyinyi finance no sha young people ye mabawa ne brante no mojamuni wo mu no wo mo na sabi wo mo edi sa amenso ene o se JF Kennedy was see abra wo beye US president no na wodi say eno se Bill Clinton and afi Barack Obama nso abra mo beye mpanyifo wo America mamu no mo nso edi say Emmanuel Macron ono wo France was so no uhwemu ni age and ni kwan so qualify for president and so at the age of 39 and obey president wo France man ni mu agese sa maba wa ne mrantie womu sheda mumfie ne nkwa ni mu bia nanso ya mo akwanya amomo ababe president e wo mo amamu nanso ba Ghana hase a gise wonyini a sana wotuma ababe president ene mrahye bedwafo ni ministers wo monyini a adwene nanso ye da so te hono ma maba wa ne mrante ebre ene kwa woni sika kra di bere kra betima nya bi se ni nyina na o se nya ni sisente wo se etumi twetwam ne ma maba wa ne mrante na kwanya e ma omusu etumi ebedi wo man eso
omisi se wo bo homodenti na onye sika ntina no sa na yedi jawa na se dia so bitima yin ye afia se yebre na yebre na ansa na wodi watade ni uti ni go wenye wa na ye obi na ye che
obi na ye che
nto so boni din me chia eye madam fu bi amenya no me frɛ no Mama Franco eye ma afia from Mama Franco ta from Auntie Mary wo Franco Trading Enterprise me chia cha anope oni wadwuma fo nyina Franco fo nyina nyame nkoso enhyiram damase afi so bia mu ye bia no nyame nhyira so mame afi fia fo tu dwana enkwani
yo eke matadi glam squad GH wonu mu adenta omo woni ema pa do de ko party do de ko adore do de ko
ntade ayehye
ntade ayehye
wo kan ema anse yenhye de huni opeso okire
ye ntade ayehye bibia wo mu ba bia occasion bia benya ntade a efe na ne border form kama ashe glam squad GH omudi no e boutique wo mu adenta henti yako wo mu number no 05096278551 05096278551 meeting so Living God Salon omuso watabora alaji asantoa wo ya ade pa wo botiri ankasa ena afenso wo hye Yvonne kese de opeso ye bia no won be ya ma na nu bo nso de fofofo ne nkola nso bebre ni senti wo tena wa ne se ya ma wo wiese so rekọ kama pa nti wo apese wo ye uti se wo hye Yvonne se wo bo uti twist mesan bi ni ade nyina furniture Living God Salon Tabora Large Station ho wo si asantoa salon no ne wo busa na koye uti fofofo wanim so ebeye fe wo hu beye fe ama nkrofo akamfo se de AK kamfo mi
kamfo ya wo dia fe woni wan koye ni ti we ni trinwi
mi trinwi
madam for Stephen Kwame Sian Stephen Investment MD mi chacha woni eben na fe ye ben owusu bompa esi na mbeko so shaw na de moyi bia esimu ye na efia da nti ye gibre na fe ya homesu kakra ye ba na fe na ye bididi na edi yapomudi hu nkoma na mpunimpu ye be di nkoma fa PDS nsensem se wonti ase a bomodian na de koso ahwe UTV ni be chichim na de koso bia no a aban fi se nema nkoye na minority fo so no central fo nhie mo ye ni omo ka kire Ghana fo nyina so ye di hu nkoma no penti na de adaji ni pusokra ye twa ho aba na fe ya to efia pa ho fa ni twam ye che ho so
na
ye nto aso nti ye ba sisi amontwen